Alrighty, Ann Kenny Little League from Ann Kenny, Iowa. It's your turn. The next 10 minutes of infield are all yours, beginning right now. Thank you. Test.
That 10 minutes is when not now, but when you said it.
Testing, 1, 2, testing, louder. Little test. That's pretty loud. Where's the volume?
That's your volume.
All right, test. I'm testing, 1, 2, testing. Yep. Hello, testing. Yeah, that's pretty good. Are we on right now? Test. Testing, 1, 2, test. Testing. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Yes, this is much better.
Testing, 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 testing. That's good. It's a little hot, yeah. Test, 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 test. Testing, testing. That's good. A little more bass and a little less mid. There we go. Testing, testing. Beautiful. Yeah. Test, test. Test, test, test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. We got a test, test, test. We're talking here at the Little League International World Series. Ankeny, Iowa versus San Diego, California. We hope not. We shouldn't be.
make it easy. 1-3, just have fun. 1-2-3, just have fun.
And now for the ceremonial first pitches of today's game. First, I'd like to introduce Risha Maru. Risha is Bay Area's premier mortgage lender. She is with Guaranteed Rate and has helped thousands of buyers financing dreams of home and ownership. This is Risha. And I'd like to introduce Cooper Meyer. Cooper is 15 years old and is headed into his sophomore year at Granada High School here in Livermore. Cooper is a second-generation Granada Little League baseball player and has played 8 years for Granada Little League. He currently plays football, soccer, baseball, and ice hockey for Granada High School. Cooper loves baseball and America. Thank you, Risha. And now Cooper. There we go, on a baby.
Wait for them. They'll bring them to you. They're going to bring them to you. Come on.
From Iowa, Ankeny, Iowa, is back. Ankeny Little League. Happy to be back this year. Looking for a real exciting tournament. We've got some
There you go.
Once again joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Rick Rude, and happy to have you
All right, Terry, whenever you're ready.
It's a little bit warm. It's a little bit muggy, which is atypical in California, but it's great. It's not 100 degrees like it has been for the past couple of weeks, so we're happy about that. What do you think we're going to see here today, Rick, as far as out of the West team?
Well, out of the West, you know, these guys today, I think what we're going to see out of this game is what's going to rule the baseball field, offense or defense. You've got Scripps Ranch coming out of San Diego, averaging almost 15 runs per game. 15. And then you have the Iowa team, who has built it on defense. They only allowed just 1 and change throughout their tournament run. So we're going to see like defense versus offense.
Yeah, which is what's going to give today. You know, typically what happens in these in our World Series event, Rick, is that the teams are a little tight. They're not. They typically don't play their best game of the tournament, their first game. Rarely does a team come out of the box and really perform at their maximum level. So we'll see how it works. So the kids get a little. They're been sitting around the hotel room for a couple of days. They're ready to go. Let's see if they're not too amped up and keep their emotions in control, keep their focus where it should be, and hopefully we've got a good game. Warm-ups are going on right now. Ankeny's on the field, and we'll be back in a minute with the starting lineups. All right, we're back here. I'm going to go over the West starting lineup. Southern Cal leading off and playing catcher is Liam Hunter. Shortstop today is number 11, Shea Fitzgerald. Batting third baseman number 12, Jonah Dawson. Batting cleanup today is the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Herod. In right field today, batting fifth, number 10 is Alex Seif. In center field, number 4 is Blake Tashner. Pitcher today starting for SoCal, number 15, Reese Cahey. Number 18, Cooper Massimo in left field. And batting ninth is second baseman, number 1, John Ruckley. And we're ready to go here with the leadoff man, Liam Hunter. Starting pitcher is Greg McClure for the Central Regional Champions. First pitch is in for a strike.
McClure with some confidence there, going right down the middle. Trying the outside corner on that one.
Is all arms and legs, isn't he, number 5, Greg McClure? A lot of moving parts coming at you there, Rick.
Definitely.
Ooh, knuckleball. Up high for a ball. Count is 2-1. Ball's outside, and the count's 3-1 to Liam Hunter, leadoff man for Scripps Ranch Little League. Ground ball, third base, off the glove, and that's going to be a runner for Hunter. For SoCal, Liam Hunter reaches first base.
And Thomas Hoke over there on third, wishes he had that one back.
He's going to bring to the plate shortstop number 11, Shea Fitzgerald.
And again with the first pitch strike.
It's a line drive lifted over the second baseman's head for a base hit. Hunter's going to move to third base. Ball is bobbled, and it allows Fitzgerald to get into second, and then Hunter's going to score.
Just like that, Scripps Ranch on the board. Like I said, they were averaging almost 15 runs per game, and you can see why. They've got the first run in on the second batter.
Okay, so Scripps has a runner at second base with nobody out. He's going to bring to the plate the third baseman, number 12, Jonah Dawson. It's a strike on the outside corner. So McClure is looking back the runner, trying to keep him close. Knuckleball. High and tight. The count's 1-1. It's going to be all the Central can do to keep that runner at second base. Be a big lift for the Central team if they can keep him from scoring. There's nobody out with a runner at second base. It counts 2-1 to Dawson. That's 3-1.
So McClure getting ahead of the count early, but then falling behind.
That's a pop up to the shortstop. That's going to be the first out of the game. So good job by McClure to come back.
John Fokel there playing shortstop with the catch. Holds the runner at second.
He's going to bring to the plate the cleanup batter, number 8, first baseman Ryan Herod. Big left-hander, tall left-hander. So McClure was able to get one out. If he can pull that off again, be in good shape. That's popped up out of play to the left side. It's big swing and a miss by Herod. The count is 1-2, so McClure is in a position now to try to get a strikeout. And the 1-2 is on his way. Ball up. Check swing. That was a good pitch, Rick. That had some nastiness on it.
That was an awesome pitch right there. And good restraint holding back on that one.
Ball's lifted down the right field line, and that's going to go out of play foul. So from what I've seen of the short work from Mr. McClure, he's a crafty pitcher. Not going to overpower you, but he's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at you. There's
He
a
has
swing and a
mixed
miss.
it up.
Strike 3. So there's a big strikeout for McClure.
There you go.
That's the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring to the plate the right fielder, number 10, Alex Seif. So McClure is 1 out away from getting out of this with minimal damage, and that's going to be a big lift to that Central team. You're going to see if they can get out of this, they're going to see them running off this field with some confidence.
That's true. A couple of bobbles is the only reason that Scripps is on the board. I think they'll work out the butterflies. McClure is holding steady.
Ball's outside. The count's 1-1 to Alex Seif. Blake Tashner is on deck if Seif can reach. Ball's lifted in the air to center field. Center fielder's right there. They've got it. They should be pretty happy with only 1 run coming in. So after a half inning, Scripps Ranch Little League is leading Central, and they're coming to bat 1-0.
Today's starting pitcher for Scripps Ranch Little League, number 15, Reese.
All right, we're back in Livermore to get our first look at Central Regional champions from Ankeny. Leading off for them is going to be Damon Churchman, number 9. He's the extra hitter.
You know, his teammates love him. They were out there talking. They insisted that we introduce him as the Damon Churchman.
The Damon? The. Oh, okay.
I'm excited to see what this pitcher here from San Diego's got. He played in the regionals against Alaska, threw a no-hitter, 17-0, struck out 10 of 12 batters.
Okay.
Pretty darn close to a perfect game.
That would be Reese Cahey.
You can tell he's got the arm. Just watching him warm up.
Swing and a miss by Churchman. You know, it's nice when I get a chance to greet all the kids as they're arriving to the hotel, Rick, on Friday. I get to meet all the different teams. I get to talk to every one of them, get their names pronounced correctly as I can. And it's just amazing how excited and honored all of these kids are to be part of this. And it's just been great. All these kids are just wonderful. That ball's lifted over the second baseman's head to left field. Center fielder, sorry. Makes the catch. Great catch.
Awesome catch out there. I believe that was Blake Tashner there.
Yep.
Out there in center.
Ran that one down between right and center field. So.
He did.
And that's going to bring to the plate shortstop, number 7, Isaac Peck.
Now you got to watch it if Peck gets on base. His team has voted him the fastest player in Iowa.
Okay. That's quite a snappy little curve there out of Mr. Cahey. All right, we got a count of 2-2. Mr. Peck at the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That was a beautiful pitch by K. Perfectly placed, just out of the reach.
We've never done it before.
And Greg McClure up to bat, the pitcher.
Swing and a miss.
Cahey just dealing smoke.
Yes, he is. That's strike 3, and that's going to do it for the Central batting in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on at the end of 1 full. Scripps Ranch 1. Central nothing. All right, moving on to the top of the second inning. The West leading the Central Regional Champs 1-0, and leading off the number 4 Blake Tasher, center fielder.
And Keehee with some impressive pitching. Let's see how McClure responds coming back in.
There's a strike, and the count's 2-1.
McClure is making a day there of hitting that outside corner. Oh, and then he goes right back inside.
Just to spite you, Rick. Mixing it up, making sure that you don't figure him out too quick. All right, the count's 3-1 to the leadoff guy, Blake Tasher. Ball is grounded to second base. Pretty easy play for those. Got him. Okay.
And the throw in the dirt, but they got him. Staub at first just picks it up out of the dirt just in time.
It's going to bring to the plate the pitcher, number 15, Reese Cahey. It's popped up to shortstop. Shortstop calls him off and makes the play. That's the second out. Quickly, Scripps Ranch is 2 outs in the second inning.
Isaac Peck taking care of business out there. His second play of the game.
It's going to bring to the plate number 18, Cooper Massimo, left fielder. Massimo.
I was watching these guys warm up. Massimo has a giant swing. If he gets a hold of the right one, might be chasing that into the parking lot out on the other side of the field.
That's right. Hey, folks out here at Scripps Ranch, want to have a big shout out to a couple of viewing parties, Marshall Middle School friends. That ball's lifted. It's a base hit. Fell in between the left fielder and the center fielder, and so Scripps Ranch has their second hit. It's going to bring to the plate the second baseman, number 1, John Ruckley. I was saying that there's a couple of viewing parties going on. They wanted to say hi to the Marshall Middle School friends are hanging out and watching together. Thank you. And also the Scripps Community Gathering at Board and Brew, supporting our boys. Thanks for tuning into our live stream today.
And they also want to do a shout out, I guess, to Pazzo's Pizza. They got live stream parties going on all over San Diego. Pazzo's Pizza as well. It's
Very nice.
a lot of support down south for these guys.
Well, we hope you all enjoy the game. There's going to be lots of them this week. And so we've got 2 outs with a runner at first base, a 1-0 count to Ruckley. Ball's up, and the count is 2-0.
Now, Ruckley, interesting enough for Scripps Ranch, actually won the league's sportsmanship award this year.
Very nice. Who was that given out by?
By Scripps Ranch Little League.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Given out by his parents, is that? We're joking. That ball's lifted down the left field line. That's going to go out of play. The count is 2-1.
J. Ruck is the teammate's column. Got a smaller strike zone. McClure trying to find that in there.
Ball's up. And now the count is full. So we should see the runner,
The runner should be going.
Massimo, taking off here. Massimo. Lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains 3-2. Like how this young batter chokes up on the bat. Fouled off again.
He's got his head in the game. He is fighting off the pitches until he finds one he likes here.
Coach Tashner down at third base doing signals. That ball is hit to right field, and that's not going to get caught.
Nope, that's going to drop.
That's going to go almost to the wall. That's going to bring home the runner, Massimo. That's double for Rucker. And the West has gone up 2-0.
Stand-up double for Rucker.
Great piece of hitting, Rick, on 3-2.
Nice hit. A nice hit. Like I said, he was just fending those off till he found the one he liked.
That's the third hit of the game for the West. It's going to bring back the top of the order. Number 9, Liam Hunter.
And Coach McClure coming out. Looks like that'll be the end of the day for his son, McClure.
Well, you remember, though, you can pull the pitcher, and as long as he doesn't leave the game, he can come back in. So we may see him again. It's possible. So we're going to get a new pitcher for Ankeny Little League in the top of the second inning. We'll let you know who that is after the break. Okay, we're back, and we have a new pitcher for Central. It's going to be number 6, Andrew Smith. He's going to come in and take over duties from Gregory McClure. He inherits a runner at second base. There's 2 outs.
Right over the inside part of that plate.
And Liam Hunter, the catcher, number 9, is up to the plate. Ball inside. Smith's got more velocity than McClure does, so it'll be a little bit of a different look. I'm sure that had to do part of the reason that Coach McClure wanted to make that change, mix it up a little bit.
And a pretty nifty throw by Churchman out to second. Almost catches the West sleeping out there.
That's grounded foul. Count is 2-2. Swung on and missed. Ball gets away. Throw it down to first base. Play is made. And that's going to do it.
Staub once again pulling it out of the dirt almost, but making the play.
So the West gets another run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. The score after 1.5 innings. Scripps Ranch Little League, the West Regional Champions 2. Ankeny Little League, Central Division Regional Champions, nothing. All right, folks, we're back in Livermore for the bottom of the second inning. Central's going to bring up to the plate their 4, 5, and 6 hitters, and leading off for them is the pitcher, number 6, Andrew Smith. A little lefty on lefty action here, Rick. Ball's up, and the count is 1-0. Swing and a miss. Counts quickly 0-2 to Andrew Smith.
And that was a beautiful pitch right down the pipe.
Now the count's 1-2.
See how Smith plays this.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. It's the 3rd strikeout for
Keehee. Yeah, he's
Keehee.
He's showing us, I think, what he showed Alaska in the regionals right there.
Yeah. It's going to bring to the plate the 3rd baseman, number 11, Tom Hoke. Ball's lifted out to right field, shallow right fielder. The right fielder's coming in, and he's got it for the 2nd out. So quickly 2 outs here in the 2nd inning for Central, and it's going to bring to the plate first baseman, number 18, Noah Staub.
I think this is the batter they're going to have to watch out for The coach actually told me before the game that he will not pitch to Staub without an L screen. Exit velocity of over 100 miles an hour, he says. So it's going to be fun to watch him swing the bat in this.
Yeah, he's a big boy. That bat looks like a toothpick in his hands, doesn't it?
It does. And Key's going right after him.
That ball's
And
smoked to center
that-
field. That's
yes,
over his head, up against the wall, and that should be.
Oh, they might make a play of this.
Nice
he got
hustle.
there just in time.
Great double.
And
Almost-
there's Ankeny Little League's first hit of the day.
It's a good piece of hitting by Staub. He just drilled it over the center fielder's head. Center fielder made a good effort at it. Blake Tashner out there in center. It's going to bring to the plate left fielder number 1, Jay Schmolt. Jay's first appearance at the plate in the World Series. Looks like we're going to just special pinch runner number 3. Who might that be?
Number 3 is Cale Patterson.
Cale Patterson's going to come in and run. It's a wise move from the Central coaching staff. Try to get that first run on the board.
Let's see how Key responds to the first hit off of him today. Runner in scoring position has the 2 outs.
First time he's in the stretch. There's a swing and a miss, a throw down to second base. Patterson's back in safely. There's a ball outside. The count is 1-1. With the number 7 hitter. I want to welcome everybody in Ankeny that's maybe tuning in and watching our live stream. Hope you can pick up our next game with Central, and we'll be able to say hello to a lot of folks out there. Just strike on the outside corner.
He just grazed that outside corner. That pitch has been very effective for him today. Now, a little known fact about Ankeny is that I was surprised to find out that it is the fastest growing city in the Midwest, the 4th fastest in the United States.
Wow.
So
Just swing and a miss, and for Cahey, that's his 4th strikeout. So for Central in the bottom of the second inning, they get their first hit of the game. They strand a runner at second base, and after 2 full, West is leading the Central 2-0. Back in a moment.
Leading off the top of the 3rd inning for Scourps Ranch Little League shortstop number.
All right, folks, back at Baxbury Park. At the top of the 3rd inning, it's going to bring to the plate For the West, shortstop number 11, Shea Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald singled in a run his last at bat. The first inning, knocked in the first run of the game for Scripps Ranch Little League. It's a swing and a miss.
And Andrew Smith throwing a little off speed there.
Yeah, Andrew Smith looks like a pitcher. He looks like a pitcher out there. He's got good pace to him. Doesn't waste a lot of time.
Very compact, fluid motion.
The ball up. And it's always nice to be behind a pitcher that works with a good pace. It keeps all his infielders alive. People don't fall asleep back there, and this Smith does a good job of that. That looked like a good pitch, but it's called a ball, and that's a walk. And that's a leadoff batter for Scripps Ranch reaching. It's going to bring to the plate third baseman number 12, Jonah Dawson. Dawson popped out to the shortstop his first at bat.
Now, one of Scripps Ranch's big fans is their assistant admin down there in Southern California, Kirk Gillard. He couldn't make it up here, so he actually sent his hat to reside in the dugout there with Scripps Ranch, hoping that'll give them the lucky edge.
Line foul. That's interesting. So far, I think it's paid off, Rick.
So far. Although this is exactly the kind of game that I would have expected from big offense versus big defense.
Right, correct.
And some fantastic baseball, except for a couple butterflies early by Ankeny. This has been a very clean game.
Yep. So the 1-2 pitch on his way to Dawson. Snap throw down to first base. He's back in safely. And the count is 2-2. First baseman number 8, Ryan Harrod's on deck. That's a ball up and away, and the count is 3-2. So Smith needs to come in here with a pitch to Fitzgerald, or he's going to have a couple of guys on. That ball's grounded foul, and Fitzgerald's doing a good job of fighting off a lot of pitches.
With nobody out, you don't want to get that second runner on right now.
No. Ball's popped up behind the plate and out of play. Another foul. Fitzgerald's just wearing out Smith on the mound there.
Fitzgerald just staying alive, looking for a pitch that's his that he can drive. So this little matchup's turned into a little chess game here.
That ball's lifted to right
there it
field.
is.
That's a
gonna
base
drop.
hit. Good piece of
Yes.
hitting there by Fitzgerald. That excuse me, Dawson. I keep saying Fitzgerald. That was Dawson with the hit right there. Fitzgerald goes all the way to third base. He was the runner. Dawson got the base hit. Dawson was the one that had the good at bat. He's at first base with a single. And that's going to bring to the plate Ryan Harrod. Ball's lined down the right field line. It's foul. The Southern Cal has runners at first and third with nobody out.
Good position to be in right now. Let's see if Smith can get him out of this jam.
Well, the cleanup hitter's up. And that ball's lined up the middle,
right
base
up the
hit.
middle.
That's going to knock in a run. And Dawson's going to stop at second base, and that's the third run of the game. For Scripps Ranch Little League, and they are ahead 3-0 now. So Dawson goes to second. Herod with an RBI single. And that's going to bring to the plate Alex Seif. So Smith is going to have to bear down here. Try to keep this damage limited to just that one run if possible. It's going to be tough though. This is a swing and a miss. A throw down to first base. Close play.
Oh, that was very close at first. Churchman behind the plate there trying to make things happen. And that was very, very close. Now Smith ahead in the count.
Well, it's lined into right field. And that's also another base hit. Here comes the runner from second base to score. Runner from first goes to third, and the West has something going now. As they go ahead 4-0 on an RBI single by Alex Seif.
That was an excellent directional hit right there by Seif.
Herod goes over to third. Dawson scores. And that's going to bring to the plate Blake Tashner. Tashner grounded out to second base his first time up.
It's like Coach McClure is going to come out and have a few words with Mr. Smith. Maybe calm him down a little.
All right, so Tashner's now up with nobody out and runners at first and third for Scripps Ranch. Already leading 4-0 and looking for more here in the third inning. Runner from first goes. It's a stolen base. Throw down. It's always a risky play. Rick, when you throw down with a runner at third base.
It is. It didn't look like they had any plans on going, though, from third.
Yeah. So now there's runners at second and third and nobody out. Base hit. Could play another couple. That ball's thrown down by Churchman. It gets by the third baseman, and that's going to advance the runners.
And Churchman trying to make something happen there. Kind of backfired on that one.
So Herod scores. Seif moves down to third. Scripps Ranch is all of a sudden up 5-0. Ball's inside. Counts 3-0 now. Ball 4. So Tashner reaches.
That's going to put him at the corners again with nobody out. A tough place for the Central team.
It's going to bring to the plate number 15, the pitcher, Reese Cahey.
And it looks like McClure's coming out to make a change at pitcher. And with Cahey coming to bat, might be a good idea because he's got some power in his swing as well.
We'll be back in a minute.
Now pitching for Yankee Little League. Number 16, Kevin Jones.
back at Max Bear Park. We have a new pitcher for the Central. That's Cabin Jones, number 16. There's a stolen base by Tashner. He takes second, so now it's second and third with nobody out. And a strike on pitcher Reese Cahey. Grounded to first base. Should be an easy play for the first baseman. It's going to bring a run home, though, so that's a productive out for Cahey. And that brings the 6th run of the game home for Scripps Ranch Little League, and they're now ahead 6-0.
And now we're getting a taste of this Behemoth team that's averaging 15 runs a game. You see where they're starting to mount it up here.
Now we have a first substitution of the day. Number 2, Nate Bigger is coming in.
And Brigger takes a swing at that first one.
So he's going to bat for Massimo. And the count's 2-1.
Jones just missing a little high on these, trying to go outside on it.
Central's got their shortstop and their third baseman playing in. It's lifted into the center field, right at the center fielder, though. Makes the
And
play.
here comes the throw.
And here comes the throw. There's going to be a play at the plate.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
out.
Look at that.
Terrific
What
throw.
a throw. What a big-time throw.
Was that Andrew Smith out there? I believe it was. Awesome.
Indeed it was. Andrew Smith just got relieved from the mound.
So we're going to go into the bottom of the 3rd inning with West leading 6-0, and Tom Petty's going to take us through the break, folks.
Now pitching for Scripps Ranch Little League, number 11, Shea Fitzgerald.
Back at Max Bear, Scripps Ranch has a new pitcher on the mound. Number 11, Shea Fitzgerald, takes over for Cahey. All right, leading off for Central in the bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing 6-0, is going to be the pitcher, number 16, Cabin Jones. This is his first plate appearance of the day. He'll be followed by the right fielder, Zach English.
So it's an interesting position for Iowa here. They haven't been this far behind in more than 2 months.
Is that right?
The most runs they've allowed is 4. So they know they're going against the high-powered San Diego team here.
There's a strike on the outside corner.
Jones takes the first one. See if they can generate some offense here. Bring Ankeny Little League back into this one.
Well, what they'd like to do is they'd like to get the bottom of the order on base and let their bigger hitters an opportunity to drive them home. But Jones is now in the hole 0-2. Strike 3 on the outside corner. And that's
Right on that corner.
3 pitches. And Jones is gone, and that's going to bring to the plate the right fielder, number 8, Zach English.
Zanglish, as his teammates call him.
Ball's lifted into left field. That's going to be a fair ball down the
Beautiful
line.
hit, just out of the reach of the third baseman. That's going to put him on base.
And that's the first hit of the game for. Nope, excuse me. Staub had a double, but that's puts the runner on first base with 1 out and brings to the top of the order Damon Churchman. Churchman flew out to the center fielder his first time up.
So that could be a very big hit if the top of the order can deliver. The difference between having 1 out and 2 outs in this situation is huge. Let's see if the top of the order can deliver.
The ball up. And now Fitzgerald's in the stretch, and we'll see how he can perform in that fashion. English with his lead at first. Throw down. He's back.
And another attempt to get him at first. I know Churchman is really, it's a special day for him. His favorite baseball player is Chipper Jones, just inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this morning. And he said he'd like to get a hit in honorable Chipper there. So
Awesome. One heck of a ball player.
indeed.
I remember when he first came up.
Is that 95?
Yeah, I thought it might have been even earlier than that, but that's probably about right. Boy, the Braves were high on him. I mean, the minute he got onto third base, they were like, this guy's the real deal. And
Well,
he
they went to the
proved
World
it.
Series his rookie year,
Right,
didn't they?
Right,
Oh.
right. There's a shot.
Oh, and there we
in the
go.
hole. That's a base hit
Churchman
by
right in the
Churchman.
hole. That's going to advance the runner.
So now Central's got 2 guys on with 1 out. It's going to bring to the plate Peck, Isaac Peck, shortstop. Nice piece of hitting there. That was drilled. That was no cheapo. So now Central's at business for the first time in this game in the bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing 6-0. But they have 2 men on with only 1 out, and their second place hitter, Isaac Peck, up. Peck struck out his first time up. Ball's fouled off.
Again, that bottom of the lineup hit by Zanglish may play big here.
And here comes the 0-1. Oh, nope. Fake throw to second base. Yeah, I mean, Central's, they've got what they wanted here. Now it's just a matter of executing another hit or 2, which would allow them to get back in this game, get some runs on the board, get some confidence in that dugout. And you never know where it's going to go from here. The game is early. It's only the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ball's lifted out to short center field. Shortstop's back to make the play, and he's got it. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to bring to the plate number 5, Gregory McClure.
Now McClure, one of only 2 players on this Ankeny team that homered during the regionals. He has the power to take it all the way out to the fence.
Well, he's tall and lanky, and he's got, like I said, he's got a lot of moving parts. So if he can connect, that ball could go a long way. We have not had a home run today in this World Series. This is our third game. Our first game this morning was an international game between the Czech Republic and Latin America, which was won by Latin America. I believe it was 8-1. And then the last game was South Korea against Australia, and that was 19-0. South Korea won. Ball's fouled off. Our featured game tonight, folks, is going to be the Southwest Regional Champions from Midland, Texas, and they're going to be taking on our District 57 host team. That game start time is scheduled for 6 p.m. We might be 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes delayed on that start, depending on how this one goes. That's a great pitch.
Right inside. He's been going outside.
And he took something off of it, too. It completely fooled McClure. So now McClure's in the hole, 1 and 2. There's 2 outs. I wonder if you might see Central try to put something in motion here a little bit. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So an opportunity for Central to get a couple of runs goes by the wayside. And we've played 3 innings today. And West is leading the Central team after 3, 6-0.
Representatives are
And we'll be back in a minute. So we're back in Livermore, and we're going to get an opportunity to see John Focal, who grounds out on the very first pitch for the first out. And that's going to roll the top of the order up to Liam Hunter. Liam Hunter reached on an error and scored in the first inning and struck out in the second.
Isaac Peck, the shortstop there for Ankeny Little League out of the Central, is having a fantastic day, quietly just making plays out there.
Well, we've seen enough baseball at this level, Rick, that we know that the best athlete on the team and the best player is always going to be the shortstop. And that's pretty much a given. Everybody's got a very good shortstop when they get to this point. There's a shot to third. There's a good play right there by the third baseman. Throws to first. And 2 pitches, 2 outs for Mr. Kevin Jones, just what the doctor ordered for Central.
McClure, nice grab and throw across the diamond.
With 2 down, batter is number 11, Shea Fitzgerald.
So Shea Fitzgerald's coming up. He's been on base twice. He singled, knocked in a run in the first inning, walked and scored in the third. So again, Scripps Ranch is up 6-0 in this game. They've done it with their bats. And they had a very strong Western Regional where they went undefeated and beat some pretty good teams. Nogales, Hawaii, and Northern California Danville are one of our local teams to get to this point. So they've earned it. They were the only team down there to go undefeated, obviously, but they had a real good tournament. Very strong effort down there by them.
Definitely that. Again, 15 runs a game. You can put in 15 runs a game, you're going to win.
Yeah.
You're going to be undefeated.
Right. So this is our 6th year hosting this event, and this is the very first year that the West region has been represented by a Southern Cal team. So I know they're excited about that.
And they're also pretty excited. They're the first team from their district that's gone to any World Series.
That's great.
So got the whole town of Scripps Ranch behind them.
Is that a town?
It is.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay. In the San Diego vicinity?
In San Diego, yes.
Ball's lifted down the right field line and foul out of play. Well, you know, Rick, there's a lot worse places to live in than San Diego.
That is true. That is true.
I've lived in the Bay Area here my entire life, and that's always been a place if I'm going to move, I'm going to be moving down there.
It is a beautiful, beautiful area. Oh,
Ball 4.
and there goes Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald reaches base for the 3rd time in this game on yet another walk.
Little League. Number 12, Jonah Dawson.
Jonah Dawson's going to come to the plate. He flied out to the shortstop his first time up, had a really good at bat where he was fouling off pitch after pitch in the 3rd inning, and finally wrapped a single to right field and knocked in a run and scored in that 3rd inning. So a very key figure for the Scripps Ranch team that erupted for 4 runs in that 3rd inning. Ball's inside, runners going, throw down. Ooh, what a play. What a pick by the shortstop. That was fantastic.
The Damon Churchman right down to second base. Bam. Got him.
Short
What a
hopped
play.
it. That's going to be the end of the 4th inning for Scripps Ranch. They have no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. After 3.5 innings, Scripps Ranch leads 6-0. Going to have the Bee Gees bringing us through this next break. Hope you all like it.
Just your attention, ladies and gentlemen. There's a car parked down the right field line. License plate 5PPG732. That's 5PPG732. Could you please move your car? You're in an illegal parking area. Thank you very much.
All right, folks, we're back. We're going into the bottom of the 4th inning with the West Regional champs, leading 6-0 over the Central champs, and leading off is going to be the center fielder for Central, number 6, Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith struck out in the second inning.
And Fitzgerald looking inside, trying to get Smith to bite. Misses.
Scripps Ranch has 6 strikeouts between the two pitchers by this point. Ball's lifted behind the plate and out of play, foul. Now I could be watching from up here, Rick, and I can sense that there isn't a tremendous difference between these two teams talent-wise. It just seems to me, anyways, that Scripps Ranch is a little bit better prepared to play this first game today than Ankeny.
And one thing they showed in the regional is they are able to leverage those big innings. In the championship game against Hawaii, they managed to hang in there the whole game till they got to the 6th inning. They had the 8-run 6th inning, and that's the thing that blew it open for them and got them the championships and punched the ticket to Livermore.
Right. I think from the Central's perspective, though, I think they need to get themselves another couple of innings in them and get their legs under them a little bit. And I think they're going to be playing much better as the tournament goes on. Not that they're playing bad right now at all, but
they just had the one inning where the wheels came off just a little bit.
It's a shot to second base. Good big hop for the second baseman who throws him out, and that's the first out of the inning. Nice contact by Smith, but he hit it right at the second baseman, and that's the first out of the inning. He's going to bring to the plate third baseman, number 11, Tom Hoke.
I believe is that Focal over there on second?
Yeah. Actually, we have a substitution. So we're going to have a substitution here for Central. It's going to be Drew Taylor batting.
Now, of all the Ankeny players, of course, they all love the Chicago Cubs. Swear it's the best team, except for Drew Taylor, who threw his hat in with the Angels because his dad grew up in L.A. So
that's how that works, isn't it?
It is.
You don't eat unless you're an Angels fan of that household,
exactly.
I bet, right?
Probably not. His team gives him quite a bit of razzing about that.
I'm sure. Well, I grew up in an Ohio State Buckeye household, going way back to the 70s with Woody Hayes and all that kind of stuff. And I've had to explain, and I was born and raised out here in the Bay Area, I've had to explain my entire life, why are you an Ohio State fan? Ugh. Of course, I mentioned it to the Iowa guys. They didn't think that was very good allegiance to anything. I said, raise your hand if you're, I got them all lined up the other day in the hotel. I said, raise your hand if you're an Ohio State fan. All those smiles just immediately dropped. I say, hey guys, I'm just kidding. There's a strike on the inside corner.
Fitzgerald's doing really well on the inside.
Yeah, he covers both sides of the plate real well.
So full count.
Chopped foul.
Taylor stays alive.
You know, looking at Drew Taylor, I got a feeling, Rick, I could be wrong, but he gets on base and he can make some things happen with his legs. He looks like a speedster.
He does.
Let's see if he gets an opportunity. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Ball's grounded foul. Just
barely.
Foul.
Barely.
And Taylor stays alive.
So now we got a little bit of a chess game here between Fitzgerald and Taylor.
And on deck is Noah Staub, so they want to get a base runner up for Staub for sure. Ball 4. Oh, strike 3, sorry.
Oh.
It's a little bit of a late call. Fooled me, and that's a strikeout. So Taylor goes down, and that is going to bring to the plate Noah Staub. Staub doubled his first time up. A line shot over the center fielder's head, and that's going to bring out Mr. Tashner, the coach, to talk to his pitcher. I'm not sure we have a pitching change here or not yet. Yes, we do. Center fielder's coming back in. I believe that's going to be Blake Tashner is going to be pitching. We'll check it when we come back in a minute, folks.
Now pitching for Scripps Ranch Little League, number 4, Blake Tashner.
All right, folks, we're back. New pitcher for West is Blake Tashner. Lefty, and batting is first baseman, number 18, Noah Staub.
Staub, big fan of Giancarlo Stanton. Aims to hit like him.
I would suggest that the first hit he had was reminiscent of that.
That was a nice double.
There's a ball outside that counts 1-1. There's 2 outs, nobody on for Central, trailing 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Staub can anticipate a pitch to hit here, as Tashner doesn't want to go to 3-1. And it's on its way. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. And now the count is 2-2. Good pitch by Tashner there on a 2-1 count. Hit the outside corner. The ball in the dirt. The count is now full. 3-2.
Be interesting to see what Tashner serves up here.
If we're guessing, I'm going to say outside. Line down to first base.
Oh, my.
What a play by the first baseman. Wow. 3 unassisted there. And there's no runs, no hits, no errors for Central.
Ryan Herod just grabbed that.
Great
That was
play
a
by
beautiful
Herod.
play. Beautiful play.
We've played 4 innings out here, folks. The West is leading the Central 6-0. Back in a minute.
Dawson.
All right, folks, we're back here for the top of the 5th inning. Leading off for the West is going to be number 3 batter, number 12, Jonah Dawson.
Dawson, a big part of that 4-run 3rd inning that Script Ranch had. That's put them in control of this game.
It's grounded to third, backhanded play. Nice play by the third baseman. Long throw to first.
Another beautiful play
Got
by
him.
McClure over on third base.
Got him.
He had to stretch to get that and come back set and fire it over to Staub.
It's going to bring to the plate number 8, first baseman Ryan Harrod.
Speaking of great plays, he made that great play to end the inning, last inning. So Harrod's going to show us what we got at the plate right now.
He struck out in the first inning, singled and drove in a run. And there's a ball hit out to the right fielder.
And that
That's over
lands
his
fair.
head.
Out to the fence.
Look at Harrod get it
He
going
may-
here. Double. Very nice piece of hitting.
Stand up double.
It's his second hit of the game. It's going to bring to the plate right fielder, number 10, Alex Seif. Seif had a base hit in that big 3rd inning. Drove in the 4th run of the game with a single. Strike on the inside corner, and the count's 0-1. Bit of a bender there.
And Steve puts it out in left field. So we've got a play on the ball there. That's on.
It's the second out of the inning on a fly out to left field, and that's going to bring a substitute batter up. And that's going to bring to the plate number 19, Nick Walker, batting for Blake Tashner.
Right over the outside corner on that one for strike number 1. Now they have Keehee up next. They want to get Walker on base here.
Just swing and a miss. The count is quickly 0-2.
Looked like he wasn't quite sure whether he actually wanted to swing at that one or not. He wants that one back, you can tell.
It's grounded to the first baseman, who makes the play unassisted, and that's
Staub-
going to do it. Good inning
Staub
for
does
Central.
it right there.
Good inning for Central. No runs on 1 hit, 1 left. We've played 4.5 innings. The West is in control, 6-0. All right, we're back in Livermore for the bottom of the 5th inning. Central's up with the leadoff man, left fielder, number 1, Jay Smolt. Smolt struck out his only plate appearance in the 2nd inning. That's line down the left field line, foul.
Tashner back on the mound for the West. Tashner with 1 strikeout and got a couple of easy ground balls.
There's another swing and a miss. The count is quickly 0-2. Fouled off. Central looking to get their leadoff guy on for the first time in this game. Goes a long way to scoring runs, doesn't it, Rick, when you get your leadoff guy on?
It does. And again, here they are caught in this sort of no man's land down at the bottom of the order. And it would do a lot for them.
Swing on and miss.
Get one of them on.
Throw down to first, and that's a strikeout for Tashner in the 5th inning. That's going to bring to the plate Kevin Jones. Jones also struck out in the 3rd inning. That's the 8th strikeout for Scripps Ranch today. Grounded up the middle. Tashner it's off his glove. He recovers, throws to first base. And that's the 2nd out of the inning.
That was a good heads-up recovery by Tashner right there. Thought he had it, dropped it, kept his cool, didn't panic, just picked it up, fired it over to first.
It's going to bring to the plate number 3, Cale Patterson.
This will be Cale's first appearance of the day. Patterson chops it back. Foul as it bounces back to the umpire. Tashner with the 1-1. Right on that inside corner where he's been deadly.
So the count's 1-2 with 2 outs. Central batting in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing 6-0. Chop back to Tashner again. Throws to first. And a quick, easy inning for Tashner. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. Through 5 innings, the West leads the Central champion 6-0. Back in a minute.
And welcome back to Max Bear Park. Getting ready to get the action going here in the 6th inning. So the West setting to the plate, Cahey.
All right, Reese Cahey's coming up. He's popped out to shortstop, grounded out to first base with 1 RBI. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch, and the count is 0-1. Ball outside, 1-1.
And the count 2-1, Jones. Right on the outside corner, sweet pitch. And Cahey finds himself looking at 2-2. And a good pitch by Jones, making him reach outside.
He's going to bring to the plate number 18, Cooper Massimo. Massimo had a base hit, his only plate appearance today. Squares the bunt, takes the bunt. Takes the pitch, and I should say, and it's a strike, and the count is 0-1. Trying to draw that third baseman in a little bit, which he has done.
33 pitches in. It looks like Jones has found his rhythm. He has found where the sweet spots are there. He's getting the calls.
He's quickly ahead of Massimo. 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
That'll bring up number 6, Stephen Cornelison. And it looks like Coach Corey McClure is coming out. And he's going to relieve Kevin Jones. And we're going to be looking at Isaac Peck coming in. We'll be right back in Livermore after this.
And now batting for Scripps Ranch, number 6, Stephen Cornelison.
So now coming in number 6, Stephen Cornelison. Coming in. Peck is going to pitch. And Cornelison, nice drive. It gets past Staub at first. And he is going to be safe at first. And Scripps Ranch starts off the inning with a base hit. Now coming up for Scripps Ranch of the West, number 9, Liam Hunter. Peck just misses with the first one. One and one. And a swing and a miss. Peck quickly ahead, 1 and 2. 2 outs, runner on first. And he catches Hunter swinging.
All right, so we played 5 innings complete here with the West leading Central 6-0. We'll be back after this break. All right, we're back in Livermore. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning with Central trailing 6-0.
If they're going to make something happen, this is about the time they need to start doing it. They're in good position. They are at the top of the order with the Damon Churchman coming to bat.
Churchman flied out to center field, and he singled in the 3rd inning. Blake Tashner still on the mound for the West. It's lifted to center field again, and that's right at the center fielder. And then 1 pitch, 1 out for the West in the 6th inning. It's going to bring to the plate number 7, Isaac Peck. Peck has struck out in the 1st inning and flied out to the shortstop, his 2nd at bat, so he's 0 for 2 today.
Central desperately needing something to happen to get a spark going.
Swing and a miss. They just haven't, today anyways, been able to string together any
All right, tell him
consecutive hits.
to
That's flied out to right field. The catch is made by the right fielder, and that's the 2nd out. And that's going to bring to the plate Greg McClure. McClure has struck out in the 1st inning and struck out in the 3rd. Fouled out of play to the right side. As a reminder, folks, our next game, which is scheduled to begin at 6 p.m., which has a chance of starting on time, actually, is going to match up the Southwest Regional Champions from Midland, Texas, and their high-powered offense against the host District 57 team right here from Livermore. And again, that game is scheduled to begin at 6 p.m. tonight. Lined up the middle, cut off by the shortstop, who throws to first. Not in time. That's an infield hit for McClure.
McClure hustled it down to first. He beat that throw, which is an excellent play.
And that's going to bring to the plate the cleanup hitter, number 6, Andrew Smith. Smith struck out in the 2nd and grounded out to second base in the fourth. So Central has a base runner with 2 outs. Ball's down in the dirt, and which is going to allow the runner to advance to second base. So
McClure goes to second easily.
So they now have a runner in scoring position. Popped up to the pitcher, and that's going to end the 6th inning for Central. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on through 6 complete. The West leads Central 6-0. Back in a minute.
And we're back at Max Bear Park in Livermore. Scripps Ranch representing the Western region. Shea Fitzgerald, number 11, coming to the plate to lead things off. And Peck with a wild pitch there. That one just sort of got away from him. And Fitzgerald with a dribbler towards shortstop and dribbled it slow enough to let himself get on first base. Throw just a hair late. And now number 12 comes to the plate, Jonah Dawson. Dawson 1 for 3 today. Part of the big 3rd inning that put Scripps Ranch ahead. And Peck delivers it right down the middle. 0-1 is the count. Peck checks on the runner over at first. And deals another fastball down the middle. Fouled off the third base side. 0-2. And Peck from the stretch looking. And Dawson once again fires a rocket foul down the third base line. Staying alive, hoping to pad the lead a little bit. And Dawson pops it up out into left field. And the catch is made. 1 away. Now coming to the plate for Scripps Ranch, the first baseman, number 8, Ryan Harrod. Harrod 2 for 3 today. His only misstep was a strikeout in the first, but has been consistently on base ever since. First pitch, a ball, as is the second, so Harrod quickly ahead of the count, 2-0. Peck will take his time on this one. And it's drilled right to the second baseman. And they did not catch Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, quite the speedster, got on base and first, showing his speed, and then made it to second. Alex Seif, number 10, coming up for the West. Got runners on 1 and 2, and 1 out. And Seif will pop it up. And there it's handled by Churchman, coming out from behind the plate to make that catch. 2 away. And Peck trying to get out from under the gun here. The last thing Central needs is any more runs scored by the West. And that's going to bring to the plate number 4, Blake Tashner. And the pitch is high. Ball 1. And again, a shout out to all the viewing parties down in San Diego supporting this Scripps Ranch team. The Board and Brew and Pazzo's Pizza. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Know that you guys must be enjoying this game. It's going very well for the Scripps Ranch team. 1-1 the pitch here. And catches the outside corner. Now it is 1-2 on Tashner. And a little low from Peck. 2-2 the count. Cahey on the on-deck circle. And Tashner will drop that into center field. And that's going to score 1. And a big throw into third base, but just not quite in time. Tashner goes to second, and Cahey is up. Cahey looking for his first hit of the game. He was the starting pitcher in today's game and pitched very well. Looking to add some offense to his resume here today. 1-0 pitch. Fools Cahey a little bit. It was a little high and took the swing. 1-1 is the count. And looking for that outside corner. And Churchman once again with a huge throw. Picks off the runner at third. And that is the third out. That is the good news. The bad news is Central is down to their last 3 outs. They are now behind 7-0. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back at Max Bear Field here in Livermore, California. Little League International World Series opening day game here between Scripps Ranch, California, representing the Western, and Ankeny Little League in Iowa, representing the Central Division. And Central's down to their last 3 outs, trailing 7-0. Coming to the plate, number 4, it's Drew Taylor. And Taschner looks to deliver the first pitch here. And it is right down the middle, a strike on Taylor. Taylor swings for strike number 2, quickly behind in the count, 0-2. And Drew Taylor goes down looking. 1 away. It's going to bring up number 18, our first baseman, Noah Staub. Staub made the comment earlier that the Iowa team is here to win. This is the first time Iowa has been represented in the Little League International Intermediate World Series. Staub with some nice plays over at first today. 1 for 2. And we'll be looking to see if he can be the spark to get a 7th inning rally going here for the team from Ankeny. Taschner now looking at 2 balls and no strikes. 1 away. And Staub watches ball 3 come across the plate. Taschner now to serve it up to Staub. And just misses low. Staub is a base runner now for Central. And now coming to the plate is number 1, Jay Smolt. Smolt has struck out a couple of times today. We're looking to change that up, maybe advance the runner. And even though the score may look rough, if you think about it, this San Diego team used to putting 15 on the board, averaging coming in today, being held to just 7. And Central just hadn't had the opportunity to string a few hits together to get themselves on the board. And so Taschner will serve it up. And Hunter tries to throw out Staub at first. Staub gets back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jay Smolt awaiting the pitch. And Smolt grounds it over to the third. Possible double play right here. But Smolt fast enough to beat it out and get on board at first. Staub out at second. Two away. And the Central team representing Central, Ankeny Little League, down to their last out with a runner on. And batting is Kevin Jones, number 16. And Taschner tries to end it by throwing it over to first. Smolt gets back. And a little bit high. 1-0. And Tashner keeping Smolt honest over at first. One and 0 pitch coming. And Jones fouls it off down the first baseline. 1-1 is the count. And so Jones awaits the 1-1 offering from Tashner. Oh, an off speed. Hunter with the throw down to first. Almost catches Smolt, but not quite. Smolt still alive at first. However, Jones facing 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And it's a little bit low. 2-2 the count. And Jones fouls it off the top of Hunter's head. And the count remains 2-2. Tashner, the left-hander. Getting ready. And the ball is in the dirt. Getting past Hunter. That's going to send Smolt to second in scoring position. And we have a full count on Jones. Full count. Runner on second. 2 away. Here comes the pitch to Jones. And it is over the outside corner, swung on and missed, and that is your ball game. Thanks for being with us today. Today's final score, we have the West represented by Scripps Ranch Little League 7, and the Central team from Ankeny, Iowa, 0. Coming up at 6 o'clock, don't forget our evening game tonight, our marquee matchup between the host team from District 57 right here in Livermore will be taking on the Southwest team from Texas. That's coming up at 6 o'clock.
Test, test. Test, test. Test, test.